I was crying on the train the other day, and I hate when there's another girl crying in the same subway car as me and I'm forced to feel less special. Just because you go from being pitiable in a hot way to proving a stereotype. Because if you walk to the train and there's one woman crying, it's like, wow, women. They're so strong but emotional, they feel everything but they carry the weight of the world. Wow, it's amazing, women, wow, women, wow, women, wow. If you walk to the train and there's two women crying, it's like, should they vote? It's also weird because we broke up in the fall, so we're sort of having like a reverse cuffing season. Like, I didn't have a hot girl summer, now I'm crying alone in my apartment while everyone else defines a relationship in a pumpkin patch. Then I wake up like horny and ready to get back out there on Christmas Day. I'm like, what do we have? Okay, my cousins. My second cousins. Okay. What happened with my relationship is, so we were together for like 2 years, and the first year it was great, except for he kept being like, I don't want a relationship, I can't commit to anything serious right now, and he kept like saying it and meaning it and being clear and communicative about his feelings. Very manipulative. He also had erectile dysfunction, and I just want to be clear, I would never make fun of a man for anything. They deserve to be lifted up. But when he couldn't commit, I was like, was it not enough to disappoint just me? Yeah, sure, feel empathy for him. So after a year of this, I like finally got him to commit, and I love that like every relationship is a story, and our story was like sort of a year of like on and off, like fighting and fucking, and me begging him to be with me during sex, and he would be like no, and I would start to cry and be like, okay, keep going. So I guess my message to young women is, if you're being mistreated, stick it out. So it was like a year of that, and then he finally committed to me, and I was like, oh, not like that. And we broke up. It is funny though, because in the beginning of our relationship, he would always be like, Rachel, like, you can't be mad at me, I told you that I had issues. And if there's one thing that I've learned from guys, it's that saying you're being shitty while you're being shitty actually makes you a good person. So I am trying to get a new boyfriend because I miss smoking weed. It's hard though, it's hard to find like a good guy. I've been on the prowl. I did, okay. I just want to I'm trying to get myself in situations where there are guys. I recently shot something for Vice. Do you guys know Vice? Yeah. Sort of like Jezebel for guys. Yeah, well, I shot something for them, brag. $50, it's still coming in the mail. Whoa, freelancer. Hell yeah, dude. Okay, so I shot something for Vice, and I was like, this is a great opportunity. There'll be a ton of guys there. And I don't want to be one of those girls that's like, every white guy named Joe looks the same, but every guy who works at Vice looks like a police sketch drawing of another guy who also works at Vice. One of them is here tonight. Andy! Say something.
What's up?
Okay. Didn't know if you walked out. Okay. So anyways, I was like, great, I'm gonna kind of follow back the ones that I think are cute on Instagram. I did a safety, a reach. And so I was like waiting, and none of them messaged me. And so then I reached out to my friend Phil, who used to work at Vice, also at the show.
What's up?
Okay, cool. And I was like, why are none of these guys reaching out to me? And he was like, Rachel, they're afraid of being misogynistic. And I was like, really? Vice is gonna stop being misogynistic the second it benefits me. Okay. Andy, you were my reach. Okay. Coming back in. Okay, so like I said, I'm trying to get a boyfriend. I'm a little nervous though because my ex and I were into a lot of kink stuff, and it's hard to find that again, right? It's hard to find that. Is anybody else into kink stuff in the room? Okay, no. I won't touch it. He's like, yeah, we're taking some mouth kissing with our mouths closed. It's fucking crazy. Kiss me rock hard every time. Cool. Yeah, we would be into king stuff. He would like tie me up a lot, handcuff me, and I would always be like, watch out, like, one of these days, I'm gonna tie up you. And I finally did it, and once you have a grown man tied up, there's just not a lot of options of things to do to his body, and none of them are pleasurable for you. He's just lying there like, I hope nobody sucks my dick. It's so sad because I always thought that I like did stuff during sex, and then you tap your boyfriend and you're like, oh no, I'm just being pulled places. Alright, you guys, you're so fun.